Hello, today we're doing an invitation suite assembly demonstration for a full invitation suite. It's a very sunny day, so I apologize for this harsh shadow that is going across the space, and hopefully you can see everything clearly. As I always say in every assembly video, the first thing you're going to want to do is wash your hands and dry them thoroughly whenever working with any kind of paper products. Very often, even the most minor oils on your fingers can rub off on the paper. So you want to make sure that your hands are very clean and very dry. You may even want to remove any brightly colored nail polish, because sometimes you can knock it across the invitation, knock your fingernail across the invitation, and you will get nail polish on your invitations, which is the reason why my hands, I just never get my nails done. It is not part of my lifestyle, so I apologize for the way that my hands look, but I am a mother of 2 young kids, and we have a lot of fun. So my hands are not part of keeping them looking pretty is just not part of my lifestyle right now. Maybe when I am older, I will get my nails done more often, but not right now. So here we have, I'm just going to go over all the individual parts of this particular invitation suite, and maybe if you're watching this video, it may apply to you. If it doesn't, just disregard that portion. So here we have details cards. These different cards generally outline different information that you want to give to your guests. Sometimes you can put additional reception information on here, accommodation information. If you've set up a room block, you can put a small blurb regarding any kind of directions or special information that you want to give them, your wedding website, and any kind of small information. Generally, these aren't a huge card. They're smaller than the invitation. So you want to keep your wording short and sweet. And so we've got those. I'm going to set these aside, and as we use them, I'll bring them back in. We have our RSVP card and envelope. You're going to want to make sure that this is addressed with the return address where you want these to come back to. So either your address, your parents' address, whoever is collecting your RSVPs. You're going to put their address here. You're going to want to make sure that you stamp these. So get a regular 1 ounce stamp and make sure that all of your RSVP envelopes are stamped. We have our invitation piece itself. And here we're going to start the demonstration off with the envelope liners. For this invitation suite, there's an inner envelope and an outer envelope. This is the slightly smaller one is the inner. This is the outer. This is where you're going to put your formal guest names with titles. You're going to spell out all of the addresses fully, meaning street, boulevard, lane. I can't think of any off the top of my head again. You're going to want to spell out the state completely and make sure that all of your guest names are spelled correctly. You can put the family of Mr. Bill Dixon on this envelope, and then on your inner envelope, you can outline each individual guest that will be that's invited. So if it's the family of Bill Dixon, but you're only inviting Mr. and Mrs. Bill Dixon, you can put Bill, Mary, and then if you wanted to include, say, their teenage daughter and Clara on here. This determines the specific names of those who are invited, and you can do it in a less formal way if you choose. These are our envelope liners for this particular set at papermuse.co. These come with a very slight score line here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pre-fold all of your liners. So you can flip it over, and I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but there's a very slight score line. So gently go ahead and pre-score all of your liners. This is a great way to start and just make sure that you have all of them ready to go before you start assembling. So we're going to take our inner envelope here. You're going to open it up and slide your liner in. And you're going to take your thumbs and you're going to use that to position the liner in the center of the envelope. Looking here where the liner is going to mimic that curve right underneath the gum of the envelope. Now, traditionally, inner envelopes do not have gum on them. They are not intended to be closed. That said, we are in the middle of a nationwide paper shortage due to the pandemic, and many manufacturers have halted manufacturing on all the different styles of envelopes. This color in particular, this is called Opal, is not available in an A7.5 inner envelope without gum. So we are rolling with it, and it doesn't matter as long as you don't seal it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your double-sided tape and you're going to pull off about 3.5 to 4 inches, approximately 3.5 to 4 inches. You're going to fold down this flap and you're going to put that tape as close to the edge of the liner as you can get without going over too far. You're going to take your thumbs again, make sure that it is perfectly in the center, fold it down, and press. And there you have it. You have your inner lined envelope. Now, what I like about doing an inner and an outer envelope is because if you have something as bold and beautiful as an envelope liner, it's really best to include an outer envelope so that when your guests receive your invitation suite, they open the outer envelope, you know, kind of like a squirrel as they do, and pull out the inner envelope, and this part will not be sealed. So they'll simply open up the envelope and they'll see your beautiful liner. So that's why I recommend doing that. So we're going to set these aside for a moment. We're going to come back to the invitation. So for this invitation, we have the invitation itself, an RSVP card here, a details card, and we are going to show you how to wrap the invitation with metallic thread. And we're also going to demonstrate how to gather everything together with a wax seal. So I have my metallic thread here. I have measured out approximately 36 inches per invitation. You can do more or less depending on how nimble your fingers are and, for lack of a better way of saying it, how good you are at this. Truth be told, this is not my favorite thing to do. So I have an amazing assistant who does this for me, and she absolutely adores doing it. I would prefer to be on the design side of our business, and she loves the kind of the meditative aspect of doing the assembly work, which is perfect because I would prefer that she does it. However, I'm very good at doing it, and of course need to be good at doing it in case she gets sick or some such. So essentially what it's going to look like is we're going to have a stack. We're going to put the details card there and the RSVP card here. And we want the thread to thread around the invitation and hold everything tight. So this is generally how I do it. And you can come up with your own technique as long as the outcome is generally the same as what I'm doing here. So I hold all of these like this, and I take my thread, and you'll be able to move these back around. In fact, let's just take them out for a moment. Let's see if this works better. Take this, and you're going to hold the thread like that. Do you see how you have about 1.5 inches, 2 inches there? I'm going to go around and around and around. And I like to kind of come up with a beautiful pattern here. Sometimes I go up and down so that it comes like kind of a cool crisscross. And once you have about that much extra, where you can pick it up and go to the middle of that 2 there, then we know that we're done. You can hold it. Now, if you have somebody to help you, that would be better. If you have a bridesmaid that has, a little bit of extra time, even a cousin, anyone who has a moment, maybe your mom or an aunt or your best friend can come over and help, because it does get a little bit Sticky. So what you're going to want to do is pull that taut. And I use these. These are little tissue papers that you can get on Amazon. I think it's called tissue confetti. And because these are adhesive, they have adhesive backing on them. You don't want the adhesive backing to stick to your invitation. So this is what I use. And those keep them from sticking to the invitation. So you're gonna have little tails at the edges that you're just gonna want to cut off. You can keep them on there if you like the look, or you can cut them off right at the wax seal. And then you can slip your cards directly into all of these threads underneath. And as you can see, it can get a little tedious. So you're going to want to give yourself time. Maybe only do 20 a night. Maybe do 15 a night. Or set aside a few hours where you don't have a lot going on that day and you're feeling really relaxed, and you put on some music or a cool show, as long as you're paying attention, and do them yourself. So there you have it. There. Looks beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then you take your invitation suite and you slip it into your inner envelope. It's going to go in like this. So essentially your RSVP card is going to look like this. You're going to close that up and you're going to flip it over. So when you put your invitation into your outer envelope, it's going to go like this. Those names, those informal names that I had mentioned before, will be on the front here. And there you go. Again, you could use a wax seal to seal it as well. I don't know how I feel about this right now, given the shipping situation in the United States. It might even require more postage at this point. So I love putting the wax seals on the inside. It doesn't get stuck in the machines when shipping, and it ensures that they're not going to pop off on the outside. But that said, it's still very beautiful to put it on the outside, and it's still very traditional to put on the outside. So you can definitely do it if that's what you prefer. And I think that's about it. We do recommend that you put a little bit of extra adhesive here. Most of the time I include you put a tiny bit of glue stick on that gum there, or there are different adhesive envelope moistener sticks that you can use here. So the things that I got off Amazon were the glue stick, the envelope moistener, and these are called, they're just like, I'm drawing a blank. Tissue paper confetti. I think they're 1 inch tissue paper confetti. And that's about it. I hope that was helpful.